All across the United States between 2013 and 2016, police brutality in America is at an all-time high. Police officers are abusing their authority and acting violently. Even though racism is one of the major leads to this problem, it is not just a racial issue. It is a power and an authority issue. Not all of our officers are this way, but because of how the media portrays the police and the action of a few bad apples rotten in the bunch, this brings us to these questions. Why is this happening? What's causing this to happen? And where is the solution?
My opinion on police brutality should never happen. Should be respect. Everybody should respect each other.
No, I'm not a fan of it.
My opinion on police brutality is that it's something that has been going on for a long time and that we're finally making progress in doing something about it. It's a negative thing, it shouldn't happen, and it often goes too far, but the world is just now taking notice that it is a serious problem, and so I'm happy to see that people are actually acknowledging it.
I think it is, well, obviously I'm very against police brutality, and it's doing huge damage to the police force. It's creating a massive discrepancy between, the people and the police.
I think police brutality has gotten to a point where the majority of the population can't trust the police anymore. It's become a major problem in the United States.
Because a lot of times there's many reasons for it, like justifications for it sometimes. I don't think there's ever a reason where you can't peacefully detain somebody unless they're trying to run or whatever. But excessive force is a thin line between necessary and unnecessary. Necessary and unnecessary. Necessary and unnecessary. Necessary and unnecessary. Necessary and unnecessary.
Absolutely, because if I went and beat somebody up on the street, I would be punished for it. And just because they have a badge doesn't mean they should get a pass on doing extreme behavior.
Absolutely, and I think that they should be made an example of.
Of course, just like anybody else that assaults anybody, they should be punished for their actions.
Yeah, I think they should be punished just as the rest of the population is for crimes that they commit against humanity, against the law.
Yes, I do. It should be, just like anybody else. If they want to punish people for their actions, they should get punished as well.
If they are not seen to be punished accordingly, what kind of message is that sending to the police? What kind of message is that sending to the people? 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 Is that sending to...
A gun should be the last resort. A gun is not the only weapon, nor is it the only training that an officer is given. And if a situation escalates to where a gun is drawn on them, then of course they should use their gun, but it should not be their first decision.
Exactly. I even teach courses in that. That's the first thing I tell my students is, why did you pull your gun out if you can't use it? Where's the threat at?
As little as possible. I'd say the only time that a cop should draw his weapon is when anybody else should ever draw their weapon, when their lives are in danger. 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 Lives are in danger.
Social media is all over it, and it's all over the internet. It's getting a lot of very negative response.
A lot of times the media is biased to one side or the other.
The media is the part of the problem. People try to play the race card a lot of times. People try to play the age thing or what was that person doing and try to make them look like a victim, just depending on how they want it to look. It could just be, oh, young teen doing this or whatever, then end up getting shot or something, and it's a different story depending on how they want to portray it. You could twist the story any old kind of way. 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 The story any old kind of way.
It seems to be the African American community that is being targeted by a lot of this violence. Black Lives Matter. I think a lot of that was driven specifically by police brutality. I think that is what caused that movement to start in the first place, and I think you've got to be very, very careful. The All Lives Matter counter movement might have its heart in the right place, but it doesn't get it. It simply doesn't get it. Black Lives Matter is very valid. And until people understand what those three words mean, we'll never be able to move forward with that.
Well, African American, Asian, Hispanic, I think it affects all communities for a simple fact of even the white community. Wherever there's any type of brutality or any type of questionable use of force, I think what it does is it's like anything else. It takes a lack of respect away from the police agencies, because it seems like then, whether it's true or not, is overbearing. The amount of force being used is more than is necessary to effectively handle that area.
Because the public opinion is right now very troubled. The public do not trust the police right now, for the most part, and yet we need them.